Hey guys, welcome back. This is the second video of Dirty Hands. In my first video I said I would be doing more Halloween stuff because it is fall. This is something I did this one last year and it was an experiment. We're going to see. We made it to see if it would work and it seemed to work out pretty good, so we're going to make another one. We're going to show you what we did. We're going to make it and show you. Now this actual design is specifically designed and built for the lights I have on the outside of my house, which are, I'm gonna go for a little walk. These lights. So we'll show you them on there once it's done, and we'll show you all the steps and we'll show you what it's like. Like I say, this is designed for my lights on my house. If you like it and you want to build something like it, I'll show you the basics and you will have to figure out how to do it for your lights. So we'll get started in a little bit, and I'm going to take a little break right now and have a coffee. Okay guys, so you've seen what it looks like for lights. Sorry about that. So what we use is a 10-inch sono tube. I got waxed paper and packing tape, and I've cut slots in the end to give it the round at the bottom and top. So it's got packing tape, and so we got our expanding foam, spray bottle with a little bit of soapy water in, and a little bucket of soapy water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, wet it down just a little bit. You can use a spray bottle or this. I just thought this would be good. Now the great stuff, I've already shaken it up for a good 2 minutes. So we're gonna go, and you put the water on it so it doesn't stick. So let's see. There it goes. And you keep it upside down. Now you might ask, if you're only using half of the sono tube, why I didn't cut it. And the main reason being is, chances are, if I cut it, I'll need the whole tube for something else. So I went around, and you fill in. Doesn't really matter how you go around, it's just watch it doesn't start to slump down. And try to make sure you get it all filled in. So I'm going to go around and around. Okay, like I say, it doesn't matter how you go and do it. You just want to make sure you can see little openings. If they're too big, go back and fill them in. It's not going to hurt because you're going to put it down after. So what you do is I'm going to leave this side like this for now. Come over to this side. And we're going to go fill it in. Back and forth. And there's one of my neighbors with their lawnmower going, if you can hear that. It's a nice day, so the shop is the driveway today. So and if you decide to do a YouTube channel and you do what I do, where I'm working in my driveway, and you get neighbors that want to come over and talk to you when you're trying to do your video all the time, well, I like to vacuum my lawn in a robe and pink slippers. And then they kind of stay away from you for a little bit. Anyway, so that is pretty well what we want. A little bit there, a little bit there. It looks good to me for now. Now you let it set up for about 10 minutes. Now, this is the one I originally did, and it had some tears in it from being taken off the mold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fill these in a little bit. Okay, there's that one. And there's one here. Okay. Okay, that should be good. Okay. So we're going to leave that now. So you can see it expands and it's kind of filling everything in. And you let it dry now. You can, oops. There we go. You can spray it with a little bit of water, soapy water. Okay. And you leave it for roughly 7 minutes till it gets a skin on it. Then you wet your hands and press it down. I'll show you that once this is set up. One of the next projects we're going to be doing is I do lanterns. And I'd already punched these out, so I'm going to show you guys what I've done to them. And so that's going to be our next project. We are going to be doing some stonework in the near future. So I know there's guys online that do agates. I collect rocks and stones. I've been doing it for years, and I decided I was going to cut some open, and I've got some amethyst that I've done. So, but we're going to look at this, and we'll come back. Okay, so we're back. It's been roughly 5 to 7 minutes. So what I do now, I've got this all spread out, and it's got a skin on it so I can touch it without it sticking. You wet your hands, and you start to press it down. To get all, you want to get the air out of it. So it's, if you leave it too long, it's a pain. This seems to be a faster drying because it's in the sun, I guess. So we're gonna just squeeze it down. This stuff doesn't seem to want to squeeze down very well, but do our best. So one of the things I didn't mention is, if you're going to be doing anything like this, make sure you have on old clothes. Something that if expanding foam gets on, you don't care, because once it's on there, it's not coming off. You can see the air bubble here, and what we're trying to do is squeeze the air out. So, put my hand inside. Give it a little more leverage. I may have let this one go a little too long. But it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, because that gives it the wrinkles of like tree bark or a ratty old pumpkin. Stick my hand in this side, so I did leave a little hand hole. So okay, so okay, I think that might have to do. So we do that. Now we're going to come back over to this one. Squeeze this stuff kind of in. You can see this stuff is squishing a little easier. So I don't know if this stuff will stick or not. I was just kind of hoping it would. And what we're going to do, this one here, you can see the little air bubbles coming out. There's any parts that seem to be loose, like that, we will snip off, right there. I'm going to snip off because all we really wanted to do is fill that hole. So, and once we paint it again, so this here. Okay, now I'm going to be after this, once it starts going, we're going to leave it to dry for an hour, something like that. Okay. So this one is a different expanding foam than what I did with this one, because this one was originally yellow and this one's white. So it's a big gap filler. The big gap filler seems to be more dense, so it was harder to do. But you just keep working it and see if we can't get this stuff out. A little bit more. Okay, I would have liked to have got this squished down more, but that's okay, it'll still work for what we want. And because it goes up on a light and it goes at night and we're going to have it painted, I don't think it'll matter that much. So we let that sit to dry. So now that the body's done and drying, this is the mounting back. I took off the one I made last year and just traced it out because I know it fits. So we've got the lines there. So, and what I'm going to use is I'm going to use an oscillating saw to cut it, simply because my shop's in horrendous shape right now and my jigsaws are all in the back, and I had leg surgery, so I don't want to be pulling stuff out. So So it doesn't have to be a perfect cut because of basically what it is. Okay, now we cut out the center. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I can use this as a sacrifice piece. And there you have it. Okay, it hasn't quite been an hour, but we're going to try and remove it from the mold. So I kind of get my hand underneath there. and kind of lift it off. And what you want to do, and there we go, that let go nice, is make sure when you're doing this, if it is dry enough, you won't get the wet foam on your hands. So, oh, there's that. Okay, it's coming. Slow but sure. Oh, there it goes. And I peel off the wax paper on the inside. Okay, so I'll put the sonotube down. So this is what we have. We got this and this, so we're going to let it dry to set up because it's got to be fairly rigid. And then we'll cut the edges down. And let's match it up to the height of this one. We should be pretty close. Oh yeah. Okay, so that'll work lovely. Okay, so we're going to leave that sit like that. Let some air get under it. Put it on the block so it's got some air. It's a little bit easier to shape. I hope it don't blow away. And when we're ready to start shaping it, we'll come back and we'll show you. Okay, so we've let our mold dry for a couple of days because it started to rain. It's still raining, so we've decided to move back into the laundry room. And what I do is I place this. It actually looks pretty good. There's a couple of high spots. Because you want it to fit somewhat flush to the wall. So we're going to take scissors and cut this off. Okay, so we go there. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can do how I'm doing it, which is basically freehanding, or you can staple it at the back end where you want it and then cut the excess off. I find this works just as well. It doesn't have to be super perfect. So now we've got that pretty well where we want it. So I'm going to set that down there. Cut these a little bit. Put all the pieces to the side. So I've got milk bags down. So we're dealing with a quartz countertop, so it won't absorb anything, but still you don't want to do it directly. You don't want to ruin your countertop just in case. So now I look at this and I think this is going to be how it sits. So we'll set that like that. So we've decided which way is going to be up and the bottom. So now we got to come up with a face. So I just kind of mark it. No, I won't give them eyebrows. Okay, and now I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so we got our face. Now I just take a knife. It's got a little bit of a serrate on, which is going to help, and it's thin enough. You don't want to force it. And when you come to the tight part, you use the tip mostly, because you want the thinner part of the blade. And there's your one eye. He's kind of looking up, so you want to be careful that your hand is not in front of the blade, because it can jump out and catch on the finger, and that brings a whole new thing to the Halloween. So okay. So there's a couple eyeballs. So what I do is cut the teeth out. Okay, so across here. There we go. Sometimes you may want to do what I just did and take out smaller pieces. Oh, here we go. What do we got here? See, it's kind of holding on. So there we go. And then you can see the mouth. So we are going to clean it out a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background, but it is quite appropriate. We're having thunder and lightning in the area, so always good for a spooky Halloween noise. So that's that. Now, if you don't want the marker showing, you can always just trim it just a little bit. Be careful when you do this. You don't want to break a tooth, and you don't want to cut your fingers. So, I mean, I don't get all of it. But I get some. I think that's good. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our paint okay. So we're putting our paint into a tray. These are almost empty, so what we've done is we've turned them upside down for a few days. And I'm mixing the paint simply because I don't have enough of one color right now. So when you mix it, foam brush, and just brush it on. And once again, when you're doing stuff like this, wear your crafting clothes. Because nothing's worse than wearing one of your good outfits, or good pair of clothes, and end up getting paint on it. I have a drawer that's just work clothes. It's got expanding foam chunks stuck to the fabric. Paint, glue, holes from welding and plasma cutting. So what I'm going to try and do is get this with some coverage. Okay. Alright, need a little bit more. Well, we actually need a lot more. We'll probably end up going out today and buying more. So there's that little bit. And once again, work clothes, because you never know what's going to happen. So we're going to go like this. Okay. Because this is the bottom, and when people walk underneath, it's where they'll see. I'm more concerned with that than the top, because the top is about 8 feet in the air. So we're going to do some on the top. Okay, So now I'm going to do something I've not done before. Saw this on a video this morning. A guy was making some stuff. He took watered down paint. He did actually some wooden jack-o'-lanterns. There's my coffee. So we're gonna shake that up. That one didn't close all the way. Hopefully we didn't get paint everywhere. No, we didn't. Good. Okay. So we got that done and that done. So let's go like this. Let's kind of blend them. Okay, so we're gonna fill this one all in as best we can. Okay, and you can see where it doesn't have to be 100%. I think I like it more than not having very much. It gives it more of a pumpkin look. Okay, and I got excess paint because it is really thin, so we're gonna put that over there. Okay, I think this looks a lot better than this one that has the foam color showing, but like I said, that one was last year. It went up without any paint on it. This year I painted it just quickly to see what it would look like. And then this one is going to be for the other light. I think I do like that a lot more. Okay. So cover that in. I think that looks a lot better because it looks more like a pumpkin. And I think if we would let the other paint dry, it would have given us a more solid color, and then this over top for almost a two-tone. Okay. So we go like this. And this is a project where push come to shove, it's not going to cost you a whole lot of money because it's a can of foam, which is probably $10 to $12, maybe $15 now. I haven't bought one in years, so that was one we had sitting in the shop. And sonotube times you can go, somebody's been putting in a deck where they put down concrete moors for the posts. And they'll have sonotube left over. So we're going to take this. Now I did get some paint on there, so we'll have to scrub that off. Some soapy water and that should come right up. I hope. This is my new laundry room. It was just completed about a year ago. We did this because there's nothing worse than doing laundry in what seems like a dungeon. So it's nice and bright in here. We've got the countertops, we've got storage. And we built this for crafting. And one of the reasons we went with the quartz is it does not absorb. That stain is sitting on top and it should come right off. I've had frozen blueberries leave stains on and I've washed them right off. Okay, so there's that. The whole body seems to be done now except the very top, so we're going to work on that now. You know, you might as well complete what you started. So we're doing this. Okay, so like this. Okay, I think that's good. We're going to let that dry. Sorry, I'm kind of OCD when it comes to things. Like I say, it doesn't have to be 100%. I just getting the bubbles out here and that. Okay, so we're going to set that aside for now. Coffee aside. Okay guys, so what I've done now that the paint's dry is I'm putting the back on. Now because this was so much thicker, I couldn't use staples, so what I did is, if you look in here, I've added a piece of plywood. I screwed it on, just a couple of pieces on the outside frame, and then I've screwed it to it so it will hold it. So I'm doing 3 screws on the sides. So just enough to hold the foam in place. Then on the ends, we're going to try and do 2. That should hold. And then at the top, that one's starting to rip through. Okay, so we'll get one in here. Let's see. That's not too bad. Let's try one right here. Okay. So that's that one. Now, what we could do is we could shave this so it's flat to the back, but I'm going to leave it for now and see if it fits, because we do have to probably do a couple of adjustments. But that's basically what we got. I might paint the edge of the eyes and the mouth so it's not white. I think I'll probably do that. I just ran out of paint. Now I know I used like a crafting paint and it's not really meant for its side, but I did use it on some pumpkins I made last year that were outside, and they seem to work. So what we do here is we're going to take this that's not going to work. What's going on here? Okay, let's see. Okay, the stapler doesn't seem to want to work. So maybe let's try this on these as well. You can see I did have staples in it before, but let's go like this. Okay, there's that. That. Okay. So I just go back and forth from side to side so there's not too much pressure. That one was too close to the edge. Okay. Okay, so it bulged out on the corners here, which is not too bad if you look at it upside right. The first view I showed you was my Australian version because it was upside down. So that's not bad. So what we're going to do is clean up. So that's those, and I think I'm going to put this video up and on Halloween you'll see the finished product on the lights. Alright, you guys have a good day, and like and subscribe, and you'll see more.